Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. What's those Prince words? To witness this thing called life. Jive Talkin with Shane D. Get your hands up in the air for free. Party on, Wayne and Goth gonna have some fun. Jive off, jive off. Jive Talkin with all my pals. That's a perfect time to stop that right there. Guys, I have really been falling to shit on these intros. I apologize. I had this whole elaborate setup because you can see this guy wearing a purple mascara, makeup. He's never going to wear pink. He's never going to wear nothing else. He's going to wear purple because that's Prince. And I was going to do a little thing off one of the great records from Prince of all time. Of course, you know that's, what is it? Purple Rain. The movie was great. The album was great. Darling Nikki was great. All of it was great. Well, guess what this guy here with the big nostril says? Is it a piercing he's got there? That's Nuno Bettencourt. And if you know anything about Prince, first I guess I should say welcome one and all back to another episode 74 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, where we get into hard rockin' heavy metal news each and every week. Top stories that I guess I find interesting. At some point, man, I'm telling you, when I get to like 50,000, I'm going live with it. We're streaming these, baby. We're going to stream it every damn week. And then you can get in there. I've even thought about getting like a phone line so you could call in or you can, do whatever. But anywho, let's get on with that first story for this episode. Welcome aboard. Nuno Bettencourt says Prince called him one of the top 3 guitar players in the world. Now that is one hell of a compliment coming from Prince, because if you've ever heard him lay down some licks on the guitar, you know he's a badass. He was a badass. He died. But Nuno Bettencourt says he was the top 3. I'm hoping in this article that they're going to tell us who the other 2 were. Eddie Van Halen, because he was on Michael Jackson's record. Let's get into it. Nuno Bettencourt of Extreme recently chatted with SiriusXM host Tommy London on SiriusXM's Hair Nation. During their conversation, Nuno discussed his method of recording at home studios and the monumental day when Eddie Van Halen showed up while recording Extreme's new song, Rise. And we did that, a reaction to that, didn't we? He also remembered playing in front of Prince for the first time live and hearing that Prince called him one of the top 3 guitarists in the world. Even next to that guy from Hee Haw, that one dude that could blister that banjo, he was pretty good. Would you put banjo in the guitar category? What was his name? Roy something? Regarding his encounter with the purple one, Bettencourt recalled, I was doing this thing in L.A. where there was a tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's another great one there, right? September. That's the biggest disco hit of all time, right? Out of all things. And Steve Lukather was doing it, and a bunch of guitar players, and it was a bunch of just sick musicians. And Earth, Wind, and Fire were there, and it was at the theater, and I'm doing Higher Ground. That's Stevie Wonder's song, or Red Hot Chili Pops, I think. I mean, it's a cover that Red Hot Chili Peppers did of a Stevie Wonder song. And I'm waiting for my name to be called, to be introduced, and I'm backstage. I come out, and I do it. And of course, the second they say my name, I look in the aisles, and walking down the aisle, coming in the building is Prince. And I'm standing right there. He sits down front row, and I'm like, fucking great. Isn't this just great? Prince, the purple panda, he's seeing me with his eyes. Prince has probably never seen me play before. Now I'm going to be doing this, and I noticed that he was sitting next to somebody that I knew is a producer, and his girlfriend is an amazing singer called Nikki Costa, who's also beautiful, isn't she? She was back in the late 90s. If you never heard of, he's going to tell us, guys. He's going to tell us. If you've never heard, go find Nikki Costa's album. Everybody's got that something. You probably heard that track. That's her. She's an insane singer. So all of a sudden, he's sitting next to one of my best mates, and Nika, who's like, is it at my house the next day? I think because our kids play together. Did I miss something? Like with my wife. So all of a sudden, I'm playing, and I start playing, and I can't help but sweat that Prince is in the front row, and now I'm trying all my best to be cool as fuck and have him like me, because I really want Prince, the little purple panda, to like me. And then, all of a sudden, he leans over to Nika and says something, and he goes back, and I'm like, oh, God, he's just told him how much I suck. That's what they're talking about. He told her I'm not playing it right. He told her whatever. Nuno Bettencourt continues with this epic story. Ironically enough, she was at my house the next day. Why was she at your house, Nuno? What were you doing? The next day, and I come back from the studio, and her and my daughter, I think, are sitting there, and they're just looking at me, and I just walk by, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you don't want to know what Prince said to me about you. I'm like, no, I don't. And I went into the kitchen. I walked away. Can you believe that? I walked away from my daughter, who was on the couch with Nikki Costa, and I walked away. I come back 30 seconds later. I walked away, but I came back quickly. I'm like, all right, what did he say? It depends on how they said that with their face, too. If they said it with a scowl and like a nervous, you don't want to know what he said, then you don't come back in and ask. But if they do it with a happy face and go, you do not want to know what Prince said about your guitar playing, you do want to hear that, right? And she says like, well, you sure you want to know? I'm like, all right, fuck this. Come on, girl. Tell me already, OMG. He said, right there, I think that's the one of the top 3 guitar players in the world. And by the way, I've never told that story to anybody until today. It's an exclusive. I probably only sang it because he passed away, and you can't deny it that he said it. But my point being, I took that with me as like, wow, he's listening, he listens, he hears, a hero of yours. He is a hero. He is a hero of mine. Technically, Nika Costa is still alive, so she could say that's a fib. I never said that. I've never been around your daughter. I've never been at your home, but she probably has been to your house. Bettencourt rose to rock superstardom as lead guitarist for the legendary rock band Extreme. He has parlayed the success into an acclaimed career as a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum artist, songwriter, and producer, working alongside industry titans such as Sir Paul McCartney, Steven Tyler, Kanye West, Robert Palmer, Rihanna, Janet Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, Perry Farrell, among others. Wow. So he really did. That's why Extreme wasn't doing anything. He's too damn busy with his good career. Nuno is also the CEO and co-founder of Atlantis Entertainment, a full-service media production company which creates and produces content through ventures integrating film and television. Give me a job. Give me a job over there doing something. Give me a job, Nuno. Branded entertainment, commercials, and digital content. One of many career highlights for Nuno occurred when Extreme performed along with the members. Pardon me. You never burp before you're going to say Queen. Okay? And that's what I was going to do. That's why I stopped. Extreme performed along with members of Queen at Wembley Stadium at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert in 1992. Nuno was also invited to perform at the prestigious Nobel Peace Prize concert with Steven Tyler in 2014, as well as 2015 Grammy Awards, side by side with Sir Paul McCartney, Rihanna, and Kanye West, performing the number one. That's a lineup. Paul McCartney, Rihanna, and Kanye West. Was he in his gimp mask? Performing the number one Billboard R&B hip hop song, 4 5 Seconds. Is that a good song? As a producer and songwriter, Nuno has produced and performed on hit songs with such greats as Rihanna, Robert Palmer, Perry Farrell, and Janet. Miss Nasty Jackson, if you're nasty. Getting into something here, there's another man that doesn't use backing tracks and laptops, and his name is David Coverdale, and it looks like he's got that microphone out to face going, feeling all alone in the moonlight. But it says here, David Coverdale says, Whitesnake has never used backing tracks during live shows. Before we get into this story, let me tell you about, pardon me for the snotty nose, Action Bronson. Do you know who he is? He's got a show called Fuck That's Delicious on Vice, and I love it. And he's a hip-hopper, and his name's Action Bronson. And in his song Baby Blue, which I love, I think it's a good tune, he's got a funny-ass line in it, but you got to go listen to the song to get the whole reference and everything. But he says, the recipe is white snake in underwear sauce. I totally butchered it, but go listen to that song and you're going to hear this hip-hop line where he says, the ingredients today is white snake in underwear sauce. I just think it's funny. I like white snake in underwear sauce. I think it's funny, okay? Go listen to the song. You'll have a giggle and you'll just really enjoy it. David Coverdale says that Whitesnake has never used backing tracks during the band's concerts. In recent years, more and more artists have been given a pass for relying on pre-recorded tracks, drum triggers, and other assorted technologies that makes concerts more synthetic, but also more consistent. For better or worse, and that's the perfect word for it, synthetic. That's the perfect word. For better or worse, pre-recorded tracks are becoming increasingly common for touring artists of all levels and genres, and they're not just used in pop music. Many rock artists utilize playback tracks to varying degree. Coverdale addressed some of the rock acts' reliance on pre-recorded tracks in a new interview with Rock of Nations with Dave Kinchin and Shane McEachern. He's got a good name there, that guy. Asked for his opinion on singers who are using backing tracks for their lead vocal, the Whitesnake vocalist said, he's Scottish, isn't he? Where he talks like this. I think that's happening a lot. Unfortunately, but that's somebody's choice. That doesn't happen with us. I remember years ago somebody who should have known better had made a remark that they were shocked to see us using tapes, he continued. This is many, many years ago, and nobody could be further from the fucking truth. Let me tell you that, honey, sister, child. Are you kidding me? My band are great players and great singers. Simple fact. But it got so ridiculous, how it does with the viral internet. We invited journalists to come and stand at the front of house, and see that everything that was going on was live. But that is Whitesnake, David added, and I've got to tell you, you're getting live wherever you are. Good or bad, it's live. There's never been a consideration of tapes, but I do know a lot of contemporaries embrace that, and good luck to them. It's not interesting to me. Listen, even when I'm making promo videos, I'm singing my nuts off. I can't pretend. Yeah, so when he's doing, I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. In the video, you're hearing the song, but while he's on set and they're playing that song for everyone to play to, what David Coverdale is saying here is that he still belts out the song along with the recording and the video as they film it. So it's, I get all the promises and the song of yet today. You know, he's doing all of it. Okay? So just calm down. Back in 2009, legendary vocalist Joe Lynn Turner from Rainbow, Deep Purple, Yngwie Malmsteen told Spain's The Metal Circus that he Heard on the internet that David Coverdale was using all kinds of tapes. Well, I was in Finland in June 2008 with Graham Bonnet, and we were on the same festival, Sauna Open Air, as Whitesnake. I couldn't believe he was using these tapes for lead singing, he said. Not just backing, but lead. And my mouth was open. I was like, what the fuck, David? Oh my God, you can't do this. You look so stupid, so foolish. And everyone is complaining about this. No, I'm singing live. This is what you get. This is it. I'm not trying to talk shit. This is true. Everybody sees this. I couldn't believe it because David, was always one of my favorite singers. To use tapes for lead vocals, I can understand backing grounds if the rest of the band members don't sing. But for lead, you've got to be kidding me. Coverdale later fiercely denied Turner's allegations that the Whitesnake frontman lip-synced to pre-recorded tapes. We got to go to this concert. Where was this concert at? We got to do an investigation. Sauna Open Air, Whitesnake, 2008. We got to find it. Coverdale told Classic Magazine, I have no idea what the hell the draft bugger's talking about. The daft bugger? Okay. I have no idea what the daft bugger is talking about. I do not, have not, and will not use tapes of my voice to mime in concert. My band and I perform and sing live in concert. Yeah, we're that fucking good, pal. What a total prick. I mean, it does get you, when these old fellers are going back and forth at each other, it does get your band name into the talking, right? Coverdale continued, we had 3 rumors in Germany in 2008 while we were on tour with Alice Cooper, and we actually had a journo sit out at the front of house mix to verify the rumors were unfounded. It's strange. This started on the internet in 2008 in Spain. Then again, in Germany, it persisted so much that SPV, my record company, proposed we get a regarded German journalist. A regarded German journalist? Is that somebody who's in high regard? Is that what it is? To witness and report on the show, so we did. I'm not sure what you can do when something like this does the rounds. I'm still dealing with it. It is true you're joining Van Halen rumors from years ago. I don't know what the hell that means. It is true you're joining Van Halen rumors from years ago. Is there some shit about him too? Was Van Halen doing tapes? Was it Sammy Hagar? If this continues, I'll tell you right now, if it's Van Halen, it's got to be Hagar. Because David Lee Roth will blow it out. He's like, oh, they're going, please just mime to a tape, Dave, please. And he goes, oh, no. No, they're getting it. They're getting it right between the eyes. If this continues, I'll get some of my professional associates to make statements about this nonsense. Oh, he's talking lawyers. Kiss frontman Paul Stanley, who has been struggling to hit the high notes in many of the band's classic songs for a number of years, has been accused of singing to backing tapes on Kiss's ongoing and never-ending End of the Never-Ending Road tour. We're going to read this, guys, then we're going to move on, okay? Because back in 2015, Kiss bassist vocalist Gene Simmons slammed bands who use backing tapes. This is where all my irritation with Kiss comes from, is them calling bands out and saying, using tapes. And they're using tapes. So here's what Gene says, who use backing tapes for not being honest enough to include that fact on their concert ticket. Here's what Gene says. I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist uses backing tracks. It's like the ingredients in food. If the first ingredient on the label is sugar and that's at least honest. It should be on every ticket. You're paying $100. 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks, and they'll sing sometimes. Sometimes they'll lip sync. At least be honest. It's not about backing tracks. It's about dishonesty. And there you go. He says it right there. I did a little TikTok about this story, and it's the time that Overkill singer Bobby Blitz was seeing the nutsack of the lighting man. And I wanted to get deeper into this story. It says here, Overkill's Bobby Blitz Ellsworth reveals most disgusting habit of someone he has toured with. And I wanted to get deeper into this story. In a new interview with Wrecking Ball Media, Overkill frontman Bobby Blitz Ellsworth was asked to name the most disgusting habit of someone he has toured with. He responded as transcribed by the blabbermouth. We toured with a guy, and I don't like talking about the dead, so this guy's dead. But this fucking guy would do an entire tour without taking a shower. And we're talking fucking 6 weeks. And on top of that, he would cover himself with patchouli oil. I remember one tour he had, and he wore the same clothes daily for the entire thing, and his zipper busted right on the first day. And he always went commando, and he would be up on the ladder fixing lights. Bobby, what are you doing? Or something. And I would be walking underneath him on stage, and his ding-dong would be hanging out, and all that patchouli oil smell all over his ding-dong? No, wait, hold on. And I would walk on stage, and his ding-dong would be hanging out, and all that patchouli oil smell all over the place. And I said to him, I looked up at him and his ding-dong and said, you know something? I smell you more than I smell me on this tour. And I saw your dick more than I saw my own dick. But he was a great man. Beyond that, again, I'm not trying to stir up the dead. He was a great man and a great friend and somebody I'll always love. Okay, well, we got that. Let's just read a bit of this on Scorched, Overkill's 20th studio album, Scorched. I'd love to get your opinions and thoughts on it. I think it's pretty good. The first 6 tracks, solid as all get out of town. Bag of Bones, kind of, I'm not digging that all that much, but I'd love your reviews of it. Scorched was released April 14th via Nuclear Blast Records. The LP offered a new recording environment for Overkill as all members were able to record on their own. The mixing sounds damn great for them to be all separate like that. The mixing of the record was handled by Colin Richardson and his assistant engineer Chris Clancy and Johnny Rod. That's not the same Johnny Rod, is it? From Wasp? Helped with producing vocals, and finally, no, I don't think, would Johnny Rod be hanging out with Overkill? That would be awesome if that was true. Mayor Applebaum took over mastering and adding finishing touches. The band returned to artist Travis Smith to create the album art. Richardson previously worked with Overkill on 1997's From the Underground and Below, 2000's Bloodletting, and 2003's Killbox 13. Overkill spent most of 2019 and early 2020 touring in support of the 19th studio album, The Wings of Horror, which was released 4 years ago. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're moving right along. We're humming right along. Good news to all you poison maniacs. Bret Michaels has officially went down to the government buildings, had everything stamped and notarized saying Poison is never breaking up. And that's Ricky Rocket in the background going, what you talking about, Bret? What you talking about? Because he'd like to get back to making drums, right? Bret Michaels, who will embark on his Party Gross solo tour this summer, has told People magazine that Poison isn't going anywhere. There's a brotherhood there, he said. We're never breaking up. So there you have that, guys. He says they're never breaking up. Bret also talked about the infamous backstage fist fight between him and Poison guitarist CeCe DeVille at the 1991 MTV Video Music Awards. That was where, I think we've done a video about it, but that was where they were supposed to do Unskinny Bop or something, right? And CC DeVille just decided to go in and talk dirty to me. Soon after CC DeVille was fired and replaced by Richie Kotzen, that didn't go well. But I'm learning great things about Richie Kotzen. He's in that band with Billy Sheehan and those guys, and he's got quite a soulful voice. Reminds me a little bit of what's that guy's name? Chris Cornell. Who would stay with the group until 1993 and play on Poison's next album, Native Tongue. I might go listen to that now. Kotzen was later replaced by Blues Sarsenio before DeVille rejoined the band in 1996. Oh, I guess, Jesus, guys, I'm kind of shit-brained today. I will not go listen to Native Tongue because I for some reason I was thinking Richie Kotzen was going to be singing on it. He's just doing the CC DeVille parts. CC and I got along 99% of the time, but Bret told people, when it goes bad, it turns into a fist fight. Parting ways then was heartbreaking for me, but he's one of my best friends now. Last August, Michaels told SiriusXM's Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk in the Trunk that Poison fans may have to wait until 2025 to see the band perform again after 2022's The Stadium Tour, because their ears hurt because of Motley Crue. Is that what it is? Poison long-delayed North American trek with Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts was originally planned for 2020, later moved to 2021, and then 2022. The stadium tour concluded last September in Las Vegas. We're going to stop there because we do not want to get any deeper into, what's this? In 2018, Poison complete the Nothing But a Good Time tour with Cheap Trick and Pop Evil. Man, I've seen Cheap Trick live, and they made me cry. That was one hell of a show. Let's get into this so quickly, and then we're getting into your comments, guys. Iron Maiden celebrates 10 years with their Trooper beer. It's okay. I came across it. I found it. I bought it. It's okay. Trooper Beer, the hugely successful and award-winning beer produced in collaboration between British music icons Iron Maiden and Stockport-based Robinson's Brewery, celebrates its 10th birthday this year on Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. To celebrate the milestone and achievement of over 35 million pints sold worldwide, that's really good. A brand new 10% ABV Trooper X Imperial Stout has been created by Maiden singer Bruce Dickinson and Robinson team. Each 660 milliliter bottle of Trooper X, maybe that's not the same bottle that I had, and it sure as hell didn't come in a box, but it was the Trooper beer. So this is the congratulations, you drank the other goop, and now we're celebrating with the beautiful box. The new brew has again been created by Bruce, alongside Robinson's head brewer, Martin Weeks. Does Bruce have anything to say about it? Oh, here he is. Dickinson says, I'm immensely proud that Trooper has reached this milestone. To get to 10 years is a brilliant achievement, and it's been a great time working with the Robinsons. And our partners, I was just going to think, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson, Jesus. And our partners around the world coming up with some fantastic beers thanks to our fans. Trooper has become a permanent feature with the beer lovers around the world, and it's still growing. We are delighted to add Trooper X. You should put Bailey under there. Put Blaze Bailey on it. If you're going to call anything, put an X on anything, the X Factor and all that, you should put Blaze Bailey's face on it. We are delighted to add Trooper X to the roster, and there'll be more beers to come as our Trooper family continues to expand and have little baby beers of all types and sizes and flavors, and provide new beers and choices to our fans everywhere. It is time for your comments. Now, one thing that we didn't note on, and she better be in here, is the last episode, Miss Althea was not there. And I didn't go into the spam folder of doom to look, because there's, if you know what that is, that's where the comments, some comments don't make it onto videos and they go to die. And it's usually just insanely rude people going, I want you to die in the night. So we don't even get in there. Pardon me over that. Jesus. So we're getting into it. Ryan Wade here. Well then, who knew Phil Lewis would sound just like English actor Michael Caine? I'll take the first 2 Motley Crue albums over anything from LA Guns. Yes, I have a heart. You guys are going to want to spank my bare ass with your grandmother's favorite hairbrush when you hear this, but I'm not a fan of Too Fast for Love. His voice is so damn high in it. He's singing as high now as he sang on that record, but there's some good tunes on it and stuff, but I would go straight Shout at the Devil. And I do have a fondness for Home Sweet Home, whatever that record was, Theater of Pain, because I saw both those tours. I saw the Bark at the Moon, and I saw they were headlining Theater of Pain tour with Loudness opening. So I have a special place. According to Phil, he stinks. Okay, what? I missed a line, Ryan. Slow down. Read. Taking your advice. I always thought the bright spot about Motley Crue was Tommy Lee's drumming. I agree. According to Phil, he stinks, ? To review Metallica's 72 Seasons, I'd have to actually listen to it. And that is just not going to happen. Although I did inadvertently hear the song If Darkness Had a Sun and thought it was decent. I'm not going to press my luck by listening to any others. Can we try a 6 Degrees of Jason Bittner? He's on the drums for Overkill, and that's what he put here, current drummer for Overkill. Let's see if someone can link him to Weird Al. Jeez! Either you know something that we don't know, but that's a call out. Jason Bittner is the drummer for Overkill, current drummer for Overkill. And if you can do it, see if we can link him to Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, all you'd have to do is kind of find Weird Al doing something with heavy metal dudes like Eddie Van Halen or something, right? And you could work your way back. I'll leave that to you, smart people, okay? Mike Buchanan coming in here. My Lord, he's got some. So this past weekend, and still, I've been down with a bad back. So what else is there to do? Well, it's time for movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. Like I mentioned, flat on my back, I decided to do a marathon of The Thing, okay, the original. Now you're talking, okay, The Thing, the original, The Thing from Another World, 51. Okay, I was going to say, you got to set us up with the answers here. The Thing, 1982, I love that one. And The Thing, 2011, all loosely based on the book Who Goes There by John W. Campbell from 1936. A good read if you find the time and can find it. I'm sure we all know John Carpenter's The Thing, the best of the three. The original is just what you would expect from a B movie from the 50s, and they should never have made... What? I'm sure we all know John Carpenter's The Thing. Expect from a B movie in the 50s. They should have never made the 2011 remake. I thought that was a prequel. Am I getting something wrong? Oh, and I also made the decision and rented, because I couldn't find a free streaming version, the movie Night of the Creeps, baby. While I didn't remember it until I saw it, I do remember seeing this with friends back in high school on our Friday night horror movie get-togethers. Hell yeah! We did this every Friday night. While not Oscar-worthy, it is worthy in the bad B-movie world. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy for that. It made it in. Now, if you haven't, go watch the heavy metal movie Trick or Treat. That is my all-time favorite heavy metal horror movie. Trick or Treat. It's got Ozzy in there. It's got, Sammy Kerr is this. It's like, he dies in mysterious ways, and this kid gets his record, and the record's got his soul in it or whatever, and the kid's picked on at school. If you haven't seen not Trick or Treat with an R, but Trick or Treat, it's an 80s heavy metal horror movie. Still Mike Buchanan here. More people harping on Crew. Who's next? Some new Crew music is kind of interesting. With rock on board, it might be decent. Don't Care still had sex, right, Bruce? Huh? I don't know what that's. Yeah. Okay, he's talking about the story we did on Bruce Dickinson, and the lady was in the red light district was putting the little rubber hat on him. He says, don't care, still had sex, right, Bruce? So that's what he's talking about. But alas, I don't have to pay for it. Well, been paying for it for 27 years of marriage. Now he's got a smiley emoticon. Guys, I'm having a hell of a time. Why does James look like he lost his horse, pickup truck, and his best girl all before breakfast? He should do a country song. Now, people are going to put down the new Metallica album. It is the best album they've ever made. No. Is it the best? Okay. Sorry, guys. Is it the best album they've ever made? No. Is it the best album they made in decades? Yes. I will give it, for me, a 3.75 stars out of 5. I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I liked it, and also at how much of the album is not filler with a few good songs like albums of past. But that's me, and I will fully support those that hate it. My only issue that I've seemed to run in with it is they're just doing this old man thing where they're like, guys, instead of rocking this son of a bitch and doing it 4 measures, they're doing it 12 measures. So the songs just seem really long when it's like you could punch every one of those songs could be punched up. But I think that goes with age. Lars Ulrich in an interview had a very interesting and a correct thing. He said that they're getting ready to go out and do 2 years on the road with this 72 Seasons album. And he was saying at his age, he's like, I have to exercise, eat right, do all this just to maintain. When you're younger and you're exercising and eating right and doing everything, you're shooting up, you're rocketing up. But when you get to that age, you got to do all that stuff just so you can maintain what you're now doing. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And now, Jive Talkin jokes of the week. What's the difference between a cat and a frog? A cat has 9 lives, but the frog croaks every night. Oh, why are lawyers buried 12 feet under? Because deep down, they're really good people. Yep. You got to bury lawyers. I'll have to get into a story about a terrible lawyer that I had. I was hit on a bicycle with a truck. And I went through the whole thing, the lawsuit and the whole 9, because I needed surgery on my shoulder. I'll get into that another time. But I'll tell you how horrible this lawyer was that I had. Just terrible. I mean, it was shocking in the courtroom. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. This is bad. Okay. I was going to propose to my girlfriend, but my dog ate the ring. Now it's a diamond in the rough. Oh, my God. How do you measure a burrito? In enchiladas. Oh, God. I'm holding that one. I'm using that. Did you know that Spider-Man has a winter jacket made entirely out of Mediterranean flatbread? Jesus, you are really trying. I was so shocked I nearly choked on my toenails. Oh, I read the wrong line. Did you know that Spider-Man has a winter jacket made entirely of Mediterranean flatbread? Yeah, it's a pita parka. Oh. My wife threatened, Jesus, you had a girlfriend up here. Now you're talking about your wife? My wife threatened to leave me because of my filthy and disgusting habits. I was so shocked I nearly choked on my toenails. That's gross. And finally, did you hear about the Italian chef with a terminal illness? He passed away. He passed away. Cannoli do so much. Now he's just a pizza history. He passed away. Cannoli do so much. Now he's just a pizza history. There you go. There's your heart, my friend. Did I give... yeah, Ryan's got his. All right, we're getting in here. Just Bob coming in. Is it me or is James Hetfield starting to look like the cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz? Yeah, he does have that. And I think what it is it's the eyebrows. Because the lion had those big eyebrows. If I was a king of the forest, you know. You got it, boy. Yeah, he's getting and like Mike Buchanan said, he's lost his house, his dog, his girlfriend, his everything. He needs to write a country record, basically. Levi Silver, love your show. Well, you're getting a heart for that, and you're getting a thumb too. White bread. So Bruce has always been a complainer. Yeah. And now he does like spoken word tours where you can do that for a solid hour and a half. I'd love that. I can complain too. Good job on you there, White Bread. Oscar coming in here. The more I hear about Bruce Dickinson and what comes out of his pie hole, it's no wonder his wife killed herself. It was not a tragic accident like he claims. Oof. Are we going to get an 8-part Netflix series at some point on this? I would tune in day of. He should be arrested and convicted of manslaughter. Maybe we will get it someday, Oscar. Whew. Miss Althea, there she is. Oh, my heavens. As soon as I finished up that episode last week, I said, call the hospitals, call the governor, call everyone. Where is she? The dumbstruck fool says she is back, and she told you so. Freely's Comet style. Bonus points to anyone who gets the reference, including you, Shane, darling. Ha ha, I got it, yes. Ace is back, and I told you so, but it's Miss Althea's back. Hopefully the tirade won't be randomly policed. Well, it's not. It's right here. I guess that was a theme. With last week, as I also happened to get pulled over by the local county authorities for failure to come to a complete stop before making a right turn. I was let go with a warning, but come on! Yeah. Yeah, what's that all about? When you're making a right and you don't use your blinker, they are fishing. Speaking of fishing, almost the word fish, but it's Phil. Miss Althea talking about Phil Lewis here. That shady bitch, or should I say, that sad little pumpkin. I gotta love when a Brit talks trash, even on paper. Every word sounds like prose. A Brit could read you for filth square to your face. What? A Brit could read you for filth square to your face and you would never know it. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Was he dishing on Motley Crue? Who isn't? Everyone's coming. Even me, guys. Boy, it's just right there. You know, it's kind of like when you dangle your fish hook into the little pond and you see the biggest freaking swordfish forever and it's just coming over to the hook. These the soap opera stuff, it's just, it's tasty. Bruce Dickinson, another Brit. How convenient. Sounds like his little pumpkin was sad. Oh, that's a. He should have been hanging out with Phil Lewis in L.A. Is he also one of those people who eats more than half the food off his plate in a restaurant before calling over the manager to say it's not any good and he won't pay? Very good point. If she's putting a little rubber hat on, you're already pretty far into it, buddy. I am exercising great self-restraint by not making sound kind of pumpkin pie jokes here. I will leave that business to Mike Buchanan. Okay, thank you. Miss Althea on System of a Down. Former friends who had a cover band in the early 2000s would always do Chop Suey. That song drove me bonkers, still does. And if I was feeling a certain kind of way, and depending on how many drinks I'd had, sometimes I'd run up on stage to shout the "you wanted to" parts. Oh yeah. You wanted to. You wanted to. What's that BYO song too? Everybody's going to the party. That really sticks in my... let's see. And if I was feeling a certain kind of way, and depending on how many drinks I'd had, sometimes I would run up on stage and shout the "you wanted to" parts. These instances were in dive bars with probably no more than 30 people present, including the bartenders, if they were lucky so. Whatever. I would like to contribute to Mike B's bad movies we love anyway topic. I give you Reptilicus. Early 1960s Godzilla-like fare out of Denmark. Deliciously awful. Is that one of the movies that Mystery Science Theater 3000, because Reptilicus sounds familiar to me, and I've watched some of those, a lot of them over the years, but the most recent Mystery Science Theater 3000s. So there you go. There you go. There's your heart, Miss Althea. Mark Ellis coming in. If 72 Seasons were released by a new breakthrough band, they would be hailed as damn good, in my opinion. There you go. Mark Ellis coming in here again. I bailed on Crew after Shout, but the thing I wonder about Mick's allegation is, why is the truth about the 2022 tour just now getting out? A crew tour is a big-time enterprise, so how many people, road crew, managers, venue operators, etc., would have to have had an inkling about the dubbed show, and no one said anything about it? The word never leaked out. It's a good point. But if you're getting a paycheck, you probably wait till after the stadium tour to go, oh, I'm going to tell on them. The mixing guy, he goes, I'm going to tell. Hot Hairhead. I'm sorry if you've got a name there, but I'm seeing the ats. And so Hot Hairhead says, British accent sounds a bit Irish to me. LOL. All right. And here's Hot Hairhead again. Like LA Guns is any better than Motley Crue. There you go. And then Johan Lundqvist. Why write words down? Ha ha ha, let's ask Nikki. Yeah. All right, you guys. That's it. We've done it. We've done it. We did it. We've made it through another episode. Are you so happy with yourself? Did you make it all the way through? Jeez. If you did, you're one of the special ones. If you're hearing these words right now, you're one of the special ones. Okay? Let's see. I don't want to hit any buttons, but we're just going to, I goofed that one so bad last time. We're just going to have fun. Here we go. No! God, there we go. Oh, we got to have some tone. You got to let me rock. Jive and talk, get to do that vibe up squad. Come on! No. Hey. Come on, baby, let's jive some more. Let's jive, talk, jive. Jive, jive, jive into your mama's house. Oh, damn it, I really goofed that.